Sell, 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 and sell. I mean, you know, it's like, my God, that person's going to read this 50-page thing that you give me that talks about my needs and tells me how you'll handle them and why you're the perfect fit. That's like the best sales opportunity ever. I want to make clear that an RFP is a request for proposal. Sometimes that takes the form of a detailed written questionnaire that you have to respond to by a given date. And sometimes it just means, get me a proposal on that. Either way, the way we view that is a request for proposal. Ever since we've had the dot-com meltdown, the tech meltdown, we bought a lot of short answers back then. You know, anybody here besides me buy stamps.com? I don't think I looked into that closely. What's the markup on a stamp? I mean, you think about it, it's like, my God, the post office loses money selling stamps. Or pets.com, who knew how much it would cost to ship 50 pounds of kibble across the country overnight? I mean, what a surprise that was. We bought a lot of short answers. Today, we are more risk averse than ever before. Remember all those articles you used to read about, you know, the CFO of AT&T just went off to become something of something.com. Well, he's back now at AT&T. It didn't work out. And he's not going to do it again. People are more risk averse. We also have in publicly traded companies things like Sarbanes-Oxley, where, you know, you go to prison for getting a number wrong or something. I mean, we have more, we're under businesses under a microscope. I mean, you miss earnings by a penny a share, it's like the end of the world. Because of that, people don't want to make the decision on their own. Nobody wants to show up at a board meeting a year later and they go, why'd you choose Tom? And you go, well, look, we played golf, he had tickets to the Bulls game, we had cocktails. If things go wrong, they don't want to do that. Nobody wants to get their resume ready right now. So they're more risk averse. They want a proposal and they want to be able to pass it around to a table of people. I call it management risk spreading. Now, your relationship's still important. It's crucial. Relationships will always be what drives sales. But more often than not, and I'm seeing clients of mine, I can tell you about one just happened where an existing client of theirs that loved them needed a new set of services that they offered. And this client of mine was dead sure they would just get it. I mean, they had a close relationship. It had been going on for years. They offer the services. They want the services. What could go wrong? The client issued an RFP to them, Ernst & Young, and Merrill Lynch. In the old days, the relationship would have just won the business hands down. Today, that relationship put their name on the RFP distribution list. There's two choices you have today. This is one of these cold, harsh reality statements that everybody hates to hear. You got two choices. You can be different or you can be cheaper. That's your choice. Or you can be ignored. Different or cheaper? Walmart? Cheaper. Nordstrom? Different. A company communicates its value proposition through all kinds of different ways. It's not just through marketing. It's not just through anything. It's through the people, through you, through everything you talk about. It's through the marketing efforts. It's through the services. It's through the proposals that you put out. And it's through its positioning. Positioning is what you associate with a brand, okay? And I'm going to tell you something that's not that popular, but branding today without positioning is not that valuable. It just isn't. And I'll prove it to you in a minute. The reason is, when branding started a long time ago, it was because, frankly, the other one might have worms in it, okay? It was trust the brand. You know, my mother was a Maxwell House mother. She was part of her identity. When we went to the store, we looked for Crest. When Crest wasn't there, we brushed with water. That was it. You didn't have any other. There was Crest, that was it. Today, they're all good. Today, just the brand name won't cut it because they're all good. And I'll prove it to you because I went through an experience myself, and maybe you have had some of the same experience. I wanted to buy a big screen TV for our living room. And so I talked to my wife, we said, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to buy one of those big screen TVs. So I showed up at Circuit City, prepared to buy a big screen TV. And I like Sony. So when I walked into Circuit City and met the 19-year-old kid with the vest and the name tag, obviously a leading expert on big screen televisions. He walked up to me and he said, "What can I help you with?" And I said, "I'm here to buy a big screen TV." And he said, "Is there anything particular you had in mind?" And I said, "I like Sony." Now I figure at that moment Sony has spent, I don't know, like $1 billion to get me to say that. Right? I'm here to buy one. I like Sony. The kid, the 19-year-old in the vest with the name tag, turned to me and he said, no, you don't want to do that. It's Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi makes the best ones. And I went, okay. And I came home with a big screen Mitsubishi TV. And by the way, a VCR and a DVD player and God knows what else I can't use or make stop flashing 12. But the point is that the brand by itself, Sony, wasn't enough. So that's what positioning is. Positioning is the strongest thing ever. There can't be a thicker ketchup. What's the thick ketchup? Heinz. They saw it. They put it on the burger. They held the burger up on the TV. It didn't drip. I went, did I want thicker ketchup? I don't remember ever wanting thicker ketchup. All of a sudden, I needed thicker ketchup. Anything can be differentiated. And because I'm in this industry and I've been doing this for 20 years, there are times when people, and I can just hear it in somebody's mind out here, they're thinking, yeah, that's all fine for soap, all that stuff. Look, we sell insurance. I mean, it's the same as everybody else's insurance. It can't be differentiated like that. It can't. And every time I hear somebody say that, or every time I'm kind of having a bad day or a struggle, and you can keep this in your mind because this really, it inspires me. I think about my favorite product on the whole planet, Arm & Hammer baking soda. I can't tell you how impressed I am. These people have to be the smartest and most optimistic business people on the entire planet. Okay, first of all, everybody here is in marketing in one way or another. Imagine that your job now is to market a product that nobody except the 174 people in this country still baking use. Nobody bakes. They're marketing baking soda. Nothing is less salt is sexier than baking soda. Okay? They should be downsizing and preparing to go away. That's what they should be doing. It's time to pull up the tent and go home. We don't bake. They actually, and the hubris of this company knows no bounds, they embark on a campaign to tell us that what we need to do now, forget baking, baking is out, buy the product, open the lid, stick it in the back of the refrigerator, and through some magic exhaust fan process, all of the odors in the fridge will get sucked into that box. And at the end of the month, throw it away and do it again. Keep it up, America. And now, first of all, I can tell you, I never really was bothered by the odors in my refrigerator prior to this. Unless the power went out, in which case I'm pretty sure a box of baking soda wasn't going to do very much. But now we all have baking soda in the back. Now, that saved the company. I mean, that totally saved everything. But it wasn't enough. They weren't satisfied. They went to the next logical thing, which I'm sure is what we all would have thought of next, toothpaste. Of course. Baking soda, toothpaste, right. Of course. And then from there, they actually had a campaign, and some of you may remember this, where I guess they had gotten everybody, we had millions of, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people had a box in the back of the fridge. And then they said, on TV, with a straight face, buy an extra box and pour it down the drain. And the first time I saw that, I paused, I said to myself, my God, this really is a great country. I mean, this is, pour it down the drain. My drain wasn't fresh enough. I mean, just think of the things I didn't know. I mean, it was awe-inspiring. And the third campaign, but this one only ran for a little while, and I figure the reason they pulled this one early was because Arm & Hammer executives themselves couldn't stop from bursting into laughter. They had one, buy a third box, flush it down the toilet. They did. They did, and then they pulled it after a few months. And I'm waiting for the fourth campaign, which is buy the fifth box and just sprinkle it out the car window on the way home. I mean, that's brilliant stuff. Now, from there, and as if that wasn't enough, what did they do next? Carpet cleaner, and I'm not exaggerating this a bit. You know it's true. You sprinkle it on the ground, vacuum it up, and throw it in the trash. I don't know what to say. I like these people at Arm & Hammer so much that sometimes, and I'm not kidding, I buy extra boxes and throw them directly into the garbage just to make their job that much easier.